Little boy! Prankster!
No.
Got my eye on you, Max Keeble.
Like, are you kidding? Like, so many things wrong with this. All right, welcome back to another School Principal Reacts. This is Brandon here coming to you with a movie reaction. It's been a while since I've done a movie, but you all have suggested for quite some time that I take a look at this one. This is Max Keeble's Big Move, which is a Disney movie from 2001. Came out quite a while ago, but nevertheless, it seems like it will have a lot for me to talk about. I immediately recognize Josh here from Drake and Josh. At least that's where I know him from, but I'm excited to get into this movie. I may have to break this into two parts because of the length of the movie, but I have a feeling I'm going to enjoy taking a look at this one. Just a quick reminder to subscribe to the channel. If you're not subscribed and you enjoy my content, hit that subscribe button to subscribe to the channel. Let's get into this movie. All right, here we go. Here's Josh.
Kid everyone thinks is weird.
That's how I know him.
He doesn't care what everyone thinks. This is him. He's my best friend. His name's Robert, but we call him Rogue. Guess why? Hey, you guys! This is my other best friend. Her name's Megan. She never goes anywhere without her clarinet.
Okay. All right, I really like this so far. So you've got Josh, and I'm going to just call him Josh because that's how I know him, but he seems to be playing like the same type of character based on the way Max kind of described him here. And then you've got this girl with the clarinet, which I also like and find interesting. I can't wait to see where this goes here as we continue to look at some of these characters.
Even when she takes a trip.
It's green. Wow.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm tough like a tank.
Yeah.
Tough like a tank.
Says the freak in the robe that smells like diapers. Max, where's your bassoon?
Bassoon.
I thought we were gonna take band together.
That I did not expect to come out of her mouth. So she says, "Where's your bassoon? I thought we were going to take band together." And I'm not sure what grade he's supposed to be in. A lot of times the very first day you may or may not bring your instrument. And I'm wondering, is this their first experience in band or not? If it is, you wouldn't be bringing your instruments. And bassoon is kind of a more advanced instrument. I'll put it up on the screen here if you don't know what it is. It's a double reed instrument. It's quite large, and typically you don't have bassoon players, at least for the first couple of years of your band career. At least that's been my experience. And then typically the band director will pull some of the other reed instrument players aside and say, hey, you know, you might be good for bassoon or oboe or some of the more advanced instruments. Typically you are not going to have a bassoon player this young, but I'm sure that exists somewhere.
It's junior high. Is band still cool?
Cool? What are you talking about? Since when have we been cool?
All I'm saying is, let's try to act cool. Sweet a can.
Oh, come on, man. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. This face that Max is making, I have the same reaction here. That's really gross. And, you know, they're talking about whether band is cool or not. I don't know a whole lot of people that participated in that have ever been super concerned about that. It's more about, hey, I really enjoy playing my instrument. I enjoy playing as a group. It's really fun. And there are plenty of schools where the band is really big and it's kind of a popular thing to do. It just depends on the culture of each school. All right. Junior high.
For the yearbook. How's this? Sheep arrived from slaughter.
No, please don't make me go.
What? That's awful. Which I've seen situations, particularly with younger kids, where they don't want to get out and go to school for various different reasons. I've never seen that. I mean, that would be like, okay, let's contact the police or Child Protective Services or something like that. You can't do that, obviously, physically pull someone out of the car. But they're in junior high here, and you can tell the age of this movie because they're in junior high. A lot of places, you don't hear the term junior high as much. You hear just middle school and high school. Junior high back in the day was kind of in between middle and high. In other words, you might have 7th through 9th grade or 7th through 10th grade or however they structure it. It's different in every school district, the way they structure the school buildings, a lot of schools now will have, for example, a primary school, which serves only pre-kindergarten through second grade, as opposed to K through 5. You may have a K through 8 school, a school that has kindergarten all the way through 8th grade. It really depends on the needs of each individual school district. Here in the U.S., local school districts have a lot of power. I would argue more power than the state or federal Department of Education, and everything is very, very local.
Here they come. Their pimples and their braces and their
Oh, this guy.
lice, their snot-nosed, baggy-pantsed, high-pitched, squealing voices.
Dude, if you have this attitude, you do not need to be in education. Now, have I heard attitudes like this expressed in private by staff members at schools? Yes, I have. It's not good. It's not positive. And my opinion would be you need to either get out of education or just take a day to kind of refocus, because when you're serving kids at school, you really cannot afford to have this attitude. It's not good for you or anyone else, certainly not the kids. I don't know if this is the teacher or principal. I do recognize this actor from a lot of other shows and films, and he always seems to play someone with kind of a negative attitude, but let's keep going.
And yet each one a rung on the ladder of my success.
He said, each one a rung on my ladder to success. That's awful. That's an awful attitude to have. That's terrible.
Principal Jen Drake.
Oh, he is the principal.
These came from your real estate agent.
The sign, Mrs. Rangoon. What does it say? Superintendent Jim Drake, the sign on my office door.
So you heard what he said. He's trying to become a superintendent. That is fairly common. It is common for someone who's in a principal position to move on to become a superintendent or some other district leader, and that's obviously what he wants. But if you have this attitude about your work, I don't see him getting there if that is truly his attitude.
When Nebworth sees what I've done here in his honor, the old dinosaur is sure to make me his successor. But first things first, Mrs. Rangoon, set up the video broadcast machine device. I want to address the acne-strafed masses.
Ugh, that's so bad. He sort of deserves it.
Curtis Junior High has a long and fascinating history of colorful bullies.
You're lying.
Am I? In 1985, Tomato Face Callahan.
What?
He'd walk right up to you and shove a tomato in your face.
1991, Wedgie Jackson.
He invented the worldwide wedge.
The worldwide wedge. So these kids are trying to scare this poor guy into thinking that he's going to be bullied, which I hope not. I know that's sort of the theme of this bully in like the one sentence plot summary that I read. This is really horrible. Have I heard this before? Unfortunately, yes, I have. Stories about basically fake things that will happen to students. I remember hearing this more when I was a student myself. I don't remember seeing or hearing this as much in the modern day. Not that there's no bullying, because there is, but I don't hear this style where you're kind of making up stories about things that happen to people. I don't hear this quite so much anymore.
Troy McGinty.
What in the world?
Word is he's gonna pound on a different kid every day.
And he's devised his own special way of letting the world know who is coming after him.
Yeah, and this kid would not last long in most any school. If he's doing this every day, he's going to be out of there within a couple of days, or maybe the first time he does this, depending on the school. So if all of the kids in this school know that this is what he does, and he comes to school with this person's name on his shirt, then the staff members are going to know that too. That would not be able to be hidden, and this would not be allowed to happen. But I understand, of course, it's a movie, and so of course nobody is going to jump on this. I'm wondering though what the staff's position on this is and how they're going to react to this.
Max Keeble!
Here.
Julius Klinghoffer. Here.
Okay.
Lil Romeo.
Yo, what's up? I'm over here, Bodie.
What?
Okay. Oh, Romeo's in the house. I'm down with that.
What?
Tina Michaels.
And now, an announcement from your principal.
And by the way, almost every single TV show or movie kind of portrays this announcement system, especially if it's from the principal, where they have like this giant microphone in their office. I just don't see that a whole lot. I think that's very, very old school. I simply don't see it. This super formal like announcement system, and here you've got this little TV screen that says an announcement from your principal. I've never seen that before.
This is Principal Jindrake. All students will report to the assembly hall during third period for a special presentation.
Okay, and why does he have like the Capitol building behind his window as if he's in Washington, D.C. On the grounds of the Capitol or something? It's so weird.
Attendance is mandatory. All must attend. Not attending is prohibited.
Okay.
That is all.
So bad.
Thank you. Yes, the reviews are in. Jindrake, 2 thumbs up.
I was kind of wondering about that. So he had like a fake suit over his suit. He didn't need to do that. I can tell this guy cares way, way too much about his image and is just going to go sort of crazy. And to say like you have to come and it's prohibited not to come, and to go on and on about that, it's just really strange. I mean, if you want to announce an assembly, that's fine. That's fairly normal. But you just say, hey, we're going to call for all students at 1 p.m. Teachers, please escort them. Just listen for the announcement. That's all he has to say. Nowadays, you might just send an email to the staff and not go on the announcements until it's time for the assembly itself. There's no need for all this. Oh, he didn't turn it off.
The man's a genius.
Principal Jindrake,
What is it now, Rangoon?
the red light's still on.
Uh-oh.
I'm well aware of that.
Is he? So bad. What is this? Oh, man.
I'm Mac.
Oh, yeah. So you go to school here now?
You play the clarinet.
First chair.
Ah.
I'm in band too. I play the bassoon.
Now that he knows that she plays clarinet, he's going to want to get involved. And before it was like, no, I don't play anything. Now it's like, oh, I play bassoon. This is not a good reason for him to participate. And if you heard, she says she's first chair. That is very common, particularly with junior high or high school. If you're not familiar with that, a lot of bands and other ensembles will have different rankings and different ways of determining what chair everyone is. Basically, the first chair player is usually the best or ranked the best. And if there's any sort of solo, they will typically get that, whoever the first chair clarinet is. And different schools will sometimes have ways of challenging or moving up or moving down chairs, and it kind of makes a little competitive system for students in the band.
Well, I'll see you later.
I'll see you, bassoon.
That's so bad. That's so bad.
See you, bassoon.
That's so bad. And I've heard a lot of bad band jokes in my time, but I've never heard that one. That's so bad.
Max Keeble,
Troy, how are you?
first victim of the year there, buddy. Big honor.
You know the guy you used to hang out with when you were little, but as you got older, you went in opposite directions? Well, Troy McGinty wasn't always a bully.
I don't like my girls.
He's not real, Troy. He's just a TV character.
Is there a wee little daddy having his birthday today?
My girls is trying to eat me.
Bullying? Okay, you can't tell me no one saw that. He picked him up and just started carrying him. That would be stopped instantly. Typically, even in junior high, you're going to have teachers in the hallways. At most high schools nowadays, you have teachers in the hallways all the time. During this era, I remember seeing that quite a bit as well for this exact reason, right? You don't just send, or you shouldn't just send all the kids out in the hall and, whatever happens, happens, and nobody's going to watch. That just simply doesn't happen.
Where's Max? I don't know. Wasn't it your turn to watch him?
And when he speaks, I'm not used to this little high-pitched voice that he has here. I'm used to his role in Drake and Josh, where he sounds much, much different. But let's keep going.
Welcome to Cooking with Troy. First, what you want to do is dip your little piece of chicken in a nice
Come
thick
on.
batter.
No.
Troy, no!
Hold it! Stop! Okay, we're set.
No.
No! Troy! Ah!
Okay, and again, I find it very hard to believe no one's out there and they're just allowed to be out there, and I don't know if they're supposed to be in class right now, and just, you know, nobody noticed at all, and no one's walking around except for these two guys who are taking a photo of it. Really hard to believe, but I get it. There's no plot if this isn't able to happen.
Now what you want to do is roll your piece of dead meat in some breadcrumbs.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
And now that that's done, our bird should be ready to go in.
No.
Oh,
Ugh. Ugh.
Hope you like lasagna.
No. That's pretty gross, you have to admit. I know some of you all say I get grossed out easily on this channel, but that's on the level of the cheese touch from Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I mean, that was pretty disgusting. And that level, I mean, he would be put out of school. He would absolutely be put out of school. And nowadays, with digital cameras, I mean, someone would find that. People are not very good at keeping things like that to themselves. And so the staff is going to find out. I think it's truly a failure of this school that they didn't already notice them being gone. That is a huge problem. Or seeing them walk out of the building without anyone noticing or doing anything about it. But that is really horrendous. Let's keep going and see what happens at this little assembly of his.
Settle down. Cease!
No, you don't say that.
This Thursday, Superintendent Nebworth will be here to inspect the school. And so I am upgrading my policy of zero tolerance to one of sub-zero tolerance.
What?
Which is more than zero.
So number one, that is really weird. And number two, if your superintendent is coming to visit, I mean, that's fairly normal. And what's the point of that? He or she would want to see how your school operates, how different things are going, how different initiatives that you're already supposed to be doing are going. He doesn't want what we call a dog and pony show, which is where you have all these fake things happen that don't normally happen on a regular basis, or you have things that would normally happen, not happen, and just create some sort of fake school culture that you hope impresses this person. That is not the way to go. The better way to go would just be to have well-run school to begin with and have a positive school culture, academic outcomes going up. You just wouldn't do something like this. Or if you do have a meeting, maybe you meet with the staff or send a memo saying, hey, make sure you're doing this and remember to do that. Things that you're already doing, not just completely changing the school in a really fake kind of way. It's not going to work out very well for him, I don't think.
Now, without any further ado, what's that I hear? The pitter-patter of little feet?
Okay.
Allow me to introduce to you the newest addition to the Curtis Junior High School Cottontail. 3 foreign exchange students from Eastern Europe, and their names are unimportant because they're here to lead us to gridiron glory.
And I have some real questions about these guys' ages, particularly this guy in the center. I mean, look at this guy, and you tell me that he's in junior high. In other words, roughly between the ages of 12 and 16. I don't think so. This guy looks like he could be 21 or older maybe. And by the way, there are some pretty strict rules about things like this. I've mentioned this on the channel before. Here in the US, every state is going to have some sort of athletic association that governs stuff like this, because there are people and places and schools that will try to pull some shady shenanigans on their sporting events. In other words, they will get people that are not really eligible to play that will try to get them to play, or I think here they call it undue influence or something, basically recruiting people for this purpose, which you're not allowed to do, because obviously you don't want people that are making academic decisions of what school they're going to go to solely on this, because what is the mission of schools? It's to provide an education, not to like recruit really big guys like this to play football or other sports. It's to provide an education. So this would not be allowed to fly. There's very strict rules about who can play and under what circumstances. Not to say that you can't move to a new school even outside of the US and play, but it's typically not going to be immediate. In other words, you can't move and instantly start playing. You have to meet certain eligibility requirements in most states.
All they need is a place to play. I give you
Stadium?
your new football stadium.
Okay. Yeah. What is going on here? Who's that? Oh, it's him. It's Max. Yeah, and I'm assuming he would be stopped way before he actually entered this place. I mean, just tell him what happened, and that would be the end of it. I can't imagine this other kid not being put out of school and maybe even charged for something like that. That is really, really horrendous. And by the way, I heard all these snare drums or a snare drum playing during that music. I did not see a snare drum on the stage. I did see a bass drum, but I don't see that drum producing that type of sound. But let's keep going. I have a feeling this guy is going to pop up on a future tier list video, but number one, I would immediately send him to the office and talk to him. Who did this to you? No one is going to do this as a prank, like cover themselves in that. You immediately find out what happened. It's more like, hey, vice principal or assistant principal, you take over. Let's go solve this little problem right now. Not what's your name in front of the whole entire place. You would never do that. I've got my eye on you. How about go find the bully that did this? This is so bad. It's awful.
You're on my list.
It wasn't my...
Ugh. And then you just tell him to sit down?
This is a bad junior high. I mean, I can't believe what McGinty did to you.
Yeah, this is a bad junior high because you were allowed to just sit down like nothing happened, not like, let's go to the office and you tell me what happened, who did this right now, and let's solve this problem and call your parents and give them our most sincere apology, although that's not going to be enough in this case. This is a real problem. If I was Max's parents, I would be furious. Like, how could you let this happen? This is really, really bad. Ugh, and it's really gross as well.
Mr. Gindrake says if someone tries to start a fight with you, just ignore him.
Ew, Robe!
Ugh.
Ew.
Ugh, that's too far.
You can't go for the rest of the day like that.
I don't plan on it.
Where's he going?
Oh, great.
Ugh. No. No. This school's getting worse and worse. So you don't even clean them up. You just leave them like that and let them walk around all day. This is the worst school on earth, I think. And you do have people like this that might have a leaf blower or something. And he just, like, no one would ever do this. No staff member would ever go, oh, okay, I'll just point this leaf blower directly at you after you've cleaned yourself off. This is so bad.
Calls his victims investors?
He's got all the latest technology.
What?
And he's looking to make a killing in the stock market.
This is so weird.
This guy, Dobbs, was once a stock market whiz kid. By age 10, he was a millionaire.
12:15, meeting with Keeble.
What's going on
By
here?
age 12, he'd lost it all. Now he's obsessed with getting it back, one kid at a time.
Keeble!
Oh, goodness. Well, I'm going to have to pause it here. I will take a look at the rest of it. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this is going to have to be in parts probably. So I can't wait to see what happens here. I'm going to pause it here and then pick up right where I left off on the next video. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed. I will finish this, I promise, but it will have to be on a different video. Thanks for watching to the end of this one, and I'll see you on part 2 on my reaction to Max Keeble's big move here on School Principal Reacts. Thanks for watching.